All right, everyone. Welcome to Two Old Guys Drafting for a Madden League. Yeah. Uh, Me and Scuba decided I'm going to do odds. He's going to do evens. And I'm going to go with the pick for number one for the Jags with Vegas is just skyrocketed today. He's the odds on favorite. Trevon Walker, probably the biggest ceiling of any of the edge prospects, but will he actually reach that ceiling? What do you think about Trevon, Scuba?
Man, it's crazy how much he's like risen since before the draft process. Like he went from like a second round pick to now he's like could go number one overall, like the favorite too. So
Yeah.
I think they like his athleticism and where they can what they can do with him. They can bump him inside and put him on the edge, and he even drops into coverage some. So
Yeah.
pretty interesting prospect.
I think at worst they're going to get a solid run defender, but you're banking on his
Yeah,
upside if you pick it. If his upside's pretty crazy. All right, you're up with the
yeah.
lines.
Well, I really want to like mess around and take like Malik Willis or someone horrible that my buddy will hate. But man, if Aiden Hutchinson's there, I think they just got to take that and sprint to the podium with it and snag that guy. I think he fits Dan Campbell's like the what they got going on in the workroom and kind of their mentality and just a high motor guy, and I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, he's kind of like the exact opposite of Trevon Walker. Maybe not the highest ceiling, but like I
Right.
bet he probably has like the highest floor. Like he's going to at least be a
Yeah.
locker room guy. He's going to be a leader, and he'd be like the
Yeah.
hometown kid staying at home. So that probably
Yeah,
just
man.
drive
And
up
they need
fans.
yeah, and they need everything, man. They need everything. Like a quarterback right now isn't going to win them, put them in the
Yeah.
playoffs or win the division. They need talent.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they pick Malik, but yeah, I think if Aiden Hutchinson's there, you got to probably do it. Let's see. At
Yeah.
number three, I'm going with my heart here because I want them to draft this guy so bad. I'm saying Lovey Smith gets in Nick Casero's ear and he drafts Sauce Gardner. You know,
Ooh.
the best corner in college football. If you want to go look up the Jets did an article, and he's by far ahead of every corner in all the man-to-man zone tackling. Just about every metric, Sauce is the number one corner. So he's a
Yeah, it's crazy to see like that dude gave up 130 yards on the season. It's insane. Like
yeah that
most dudes give that up in a game.
yeah, and I don't care like about the conference. Like there's
Yeah.
there's good corners that played in bad conferences that give up more yards. That he's just been unbelievable, and I think he'd be a good like fit for Lovey's system. I don't know, maybe not, but Texas need everybody, and they need someone to come in. All right, who you
Oh,
got for
I
the
agree
Jets?
completely. Man, it's kind of tough because I was kind of hoping Sauce would be there so I could make an easy pick. But I think Kyle Hamilton's really intriguing right here. Any of the linemen are intriguing, but man, I think just edge rushers are just such a premium. Anybody that if you're picking the top 10, you probably need an edge rusher, and I think Thibodeau's the guy here with his upside and how good he could be.
I agree with that. I would think every Giants fan would want to just go to every Jets fan in New York and just fight them if that happened too.
Absolutely.
Because I would have wished Thibodeau would have been here. I think they're like that's the perfect fit for New York. But he's going to the other New York.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and as bad as the Jets need secondary, I think a good pass rush makes any secondary look good. So
Yeah. So
that's the way to go.
with with Thibodeau being gone, I would think the Giants got to start looking at maybe a lineman. I would it's got to be a lineman because I don't think you draft Jermaine Johnson at 5. So I would probably
Mm,
my favorite lineman of the class is Iquanu. I watched this dude reach block on some zone running skis, and his athleticism is crazy. So even if Andrew Thomas is hitting and starting to get better, you can put Iquanu at guard, and he'll be one of the best guards in the league. So I'm gonna pick Iquanu.
Yeah, that's the same. That's exactly what I said about Quanu was the fact that like he could be a stud tackle and your franchise guy, but at the very worst, he's going to be like a really really good guard.
Yeah,
So that's a great pick.
exactly. All right, who we getting for the Panthers?
The Panthers, man, they might go quarterback here, but I just think they need to fill that lineup. Like they need as many guys up front as they can have, and I think Evan Neal at 6 is like, I mean, that's a franchise tackle. and I think he could be just the mainstay there for years and years. So I think they have to go Evan Neal here.
Yeah, I like Evan Neal. I mean, Charles Cross went to Mississippi State, and I've seen a lot mocked to the Panthers. I don't think they'd be upset with that. But if Neal falls, I
Yeah.
think Neal is a little better right now, so I'd definitely go him.
Hmm.
Uh,
I agree.
Back on the Giants, I feel like this team just needs a lot of help, but I don't know. Like, do you think it would Sauce go in that early, Stingley can jump up and maybe get a pick? I'm not that high on Stingley, but everyone else is.
Yeah,
Mm,
I mean, when that dude at his pro day ran all that, ran a 4.3 and did the agility stuff, like they said he looked good. The injury, he didn't look hobbled by the foot injury, and I think he kind of gets a bad rap because he did get that injury in August, but
yeah,
that's right before the season. So he was playing with a bad foot and trying to cover SEC receivers. I think that's a tough thing, but honestly, I mean, they could go just about anywhere with this pick. I think they should trade down,
yeah.
in real life, but we're not doing trades here. But I think
I think that makes
they could
sense.
go anywhere.
I think you talked me into it. I'm going to say they bank on that. If you get freshman Derek Stingley Jr., you probably got a top five corner in the league.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
if you could get that out of him, I don't like Jermaine Johnson that high, but I could also see him going at that pick. They just desperately need an edge rusher. I'm gonna be fun and take Stingley, so none
I
of the
like it.
Giants fans hate me.
Yeah, Petey will get over it.
All right, we got Atlanta
Um,
up.
this one's tough, man. I mean, they just need so much, and um, they're not very good up front. They're not very good on defensive line. I mean, their quarterback situation isn't great. I think I mean, they could go Kyle Hamilton here. They could go like Jermaine Johnson or one of the edge guys, but I'm going to go with one of the receivers. And I mean, I saw a video today of Jameson Williams working out. He looks good. He looks like he's recovering quickly, but I just think Garrett Wilson could be just an amazing player, and I'm going to go ahead and go him at 8
I
here.
got you, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I like Garrett Wilson. He's
I
pretty
like him.
good.
I mean, he's definitely a deep threat. You just got to wonder with him is like who's going to throw him the football in Atlanta, but he's
Oh
definitely
yeah,
got the
yeah,
talent. Definitely got the
yeah.
talent.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be fun to watch, like where all these Ohio State guys go and where these receivers kind of end up, and they're all kind of clustered together right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see what teams like who.
right, right. Seattle on the board. I think this is a team that could honestly pick anybody. Like they have so many holes everywhere, and you trade your franchise quarterback. Is Drew Lock gonna actually get the start, and they're gonna give him a chance? But I am gonna like you need pass rushers in the league to win, and
Yeah,
Jermaine Johnson's a pretty good pass rusher. Even though PDF has him ranked 32 in the class, I can't really believe that. I'm gonna pick Jermaine
yeah, he
Johnson here.
he's been flying up, man. I saw on
Yeah,
NFL Network they had him at 3 to Houston.
yeah, he's been
Like,
skyrocketing, and maybe the PDF hasn't really updated this draft simulator, but I like Jermaine going there.
I just wanted to point out that you're gonna sound really stupid because you keep saying PDF, but it's PFF. Who's the old man now?
Because I had to walk you through how to set your mic up, and you couldn't realize your volume switch at the bottom of the computer. You're still the old man. All right.
That's true.
I'm just
That's
I'm
true.
just stupid. Like that's not it has nothing to do with age. I'm just stupid. All right.
I like it. All right, where are we at? 10.
Got the Jets pick. So
Okay, so I hope this turns into the 49ers pick. If we have to get rid of Debo, I'd love to be pick here. Just kind of have your pick of whatever receiver we pretty much want, or a corner. But um, with the Jets here, I mean they're still set to take whoever they want. I think this situation, like Charles Cross is obviously an option. They can go receiver, they can go corner, but I think Kyle Hamilton, if he's there, I think they got to scoop him up. So I'm going Kyle Hamilton.
there goes my dream of Sauce Gardner and Cal Hamilton on the Texans. I thought I was going to get them. I don't. I mean, I don't hate it. I I've seen some videos out of people doubting Kyle Hamilton because he ran a slow 40. Like you watch the dude on
Yeah,
tape, he does not look
he's
slow.
he's so much faster on film. Like
Yeah.
he is like that dude flies at the football.
And this is a 6'4", 215-pound safety. He can pretty much
Yeah,
do it all things. If his positional value was up higher, I think he can argue be one of the best players in the class.
I
Uh,
agree.
Washington, I think Jameson Williams is the best receiver in the class. And I think Washington can go a lot of ways. I think they can get a corner. I like McDuffie here, but I think what Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel, Diami Brown, all those guys are really good at going down the field and beating people deep. They need a big body receiver. I feel like Drake London in that system. I don't like Carson Wentz, but you put a big body like Drake London, he's at least going to be an elite red zone threat. And
Yeah, yeah,
I've been watching this film, and that guy's catch radius is insane.
it really is. He's very good like after the catch too. He's very elusive. Like he's kind of like shifty, and he's for his size, he's pretty quick on his feet and pretty agile. So
Yeah, I can't wait for
uh,
Zay to hate on the pick too.
yeah, that's the best part of the pick is just watching all those receivers go before George Pickens.
I even like Pickens though. I do like Pickens.
I do too. I really do.
All right.
All right. So the Vikings. I got another buddy that's a Vikings fan, and he really wants Stingley, but in this world, he's gone pretty early. So they got to go corner. They got to keep going corners and just try and hope one sticks. Like with all these first round corners they draft, but and I think Trent McDuffie, if he was a little bit bigger, he might be ahead of Stingley in this class. But I think Trent McDuffie is a guy. The dude looks like a stud, and he's very athletic, good cover guy, and makes a lot of plays.
Yeah, I love Stingley. I mean, not Stingley, McDuffie. You could argue maybe like 5 years down the road, he's the best corner in this class, even
Yeah,
better than Sauce.
absolutely.
He's fucking a dog. Oops, he's a
Yeah.
dang dog on the field. But he, I love McDuffie. I actually like in another mock I had Stingley going to the Vikings. I think Stingley could work there, but I do like the corner here. All right,
Yeah, absolutely.
the Texans, this might be a fan pick, but Jameson Williams is still on the board, and I think this is just an elite talent at receiver. And if you're the Texans, you're going to be bad this year, but they have
Yeah.
so much cap available next year, and they're going to have 2 more first-round picks. You could just let this dude get healthy, and you have just a potential, like, Tyreek Hill kind of weapon on your team. So it might not be the best, for, like, positional need, like maybe Charles Cross, but I'm going to pick Jameson Williams here.
No, I love it, man. Get some talent out there. Texans are very similar to like the Detroit, where they just need athletes. They need playmakers. They need guys that can, make big plays and help Davis Mills, who looks like their guy, for now and make him look better,
Yeah,
help him out a little bit.
I agree exactly with that.
All right, so we got the Ravens next. This one's tough, man. They're such a loaded roster. They're so good. Um, all around. They don't have a lot of holes really. I guess corner might be one. Andrew Booth might be, I guess, is the next guy. But I kind of feel like they need to get a little younger and bigger up front. They like those
Mm.
big defensive linemen. Um, I don't know if Carl Laftis is a fit, so I'm gonna go. I want to go Devontae Wyatt, but I kind of see him dropping a little bit
Yeah.
here recently. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw Jordan Davis in there, man. The dude's like a genetic freak, like that big to run that fast. As a player, I think it's pretty high to take him, but I think just the potential of what he could do and like as a run stopper, which
Yeah.
that's like the Michael Pierce prototype, like the guy they already have, like or they had for a while, like I think they like those big defensive linemen that can clog up the middle and let those linebackers run.
I think a good comp for him is Vita Vea, and Vita Vea wreaks
Yeah.
havoc in Tampa Bay. And I've seen him getting mocked to the Texans at 13, so I mean, I like the pick.
Yeah.
See, we got the Eagles up. Man, the Eagles are a weird team. I feel like they have just a bunch of talent, but man, I don't actually really know where I want to go with there. I mean, yeah, they could use a DB. You know what? I like drafting DBs, and I think Andrew Booth Jr. has a chance. to be something in the league. I'm gonna draft him Andrew Booth Jr.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think he's going to be pretty good, and they need all the secondary help they can get, and um, like you said, they're kind of a weird team because they have like aging guys that can contribute just about everywhere, but they still have holes and question marks. But they were a playoff team last year, so
Yeah.
it's a good pick.
And is Jalen Hurts the answer? That's going to be this year with all these
That's
quarterbacks. He's going to have 1 year to prove that he's the guy.
yeah, and that's a big reason I think why they made the trade they did, where they picked up another first next year. So
Yeah.
if Jalen Hurts isn't the guy, they can use their two first next year to really make a move up and get
Yeah.
a guy they want.
I agree with that. I agree.
All right, so we got the Saints next. A lot of people haven't taken a quarterback here. I could see them taking a receiver. I don't think they'll take a quarterback. I think Jameis will be fine this year. They're a team right there. Playoffs, and Olave is a very intriguing spot here.
Yeah.
But I just look at they let Armstead walk, and Charles Cross is a top 10 player in my mind, and he's here at 16. I think they jump all over him, and
Yeah.
I think Charles Cross is the guy right here.
If we were doing trades and I think Cross was falling, I think the Saints or the Chargers here would be trying to trade up maybe to get him. I just, especially the
I agree.
Saints, he just walks in the door and replaces Teron Armstead. Like that
Yeah,
prototypical left tackle, going to be great in the passing game. Uh, so with the Saints passing on Olave, I don't think the Chargers would be able to pass on Olave. You get Justin Herbert, another weapon. Chris Olave, it's a real argument who's better, him or Garrett Wilson, and you can make the
yeah,
case for both of them. But I think Olave just fits well. I think Herbert would be able to get him the ball, and that just the Chargers get even more dynamic with him.
yeah. I think that's scary to think about with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Olave out there. I mean, because you know how like injuries have plagued those guys in their careers, and Olave would give them that third guy and kind of guy to fill in if there is injuries, and that'd be a heck of a pick right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, all right, so with the Eagles' second pick, I think it's almost too obvious. They never draft linebackers, but I think they got to go linebacker here. N'Kobe Dean is like really good, and he's a little undersized, but I think Devin Lloyd is just would fit that system perfectly. He's a really good athletic guy that can cover and roam the field, and there's a lot of really good things. And I think he's a really good player to take at 18 for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, I like Devin Lloyd a lot better than Kobe Dean. Kobe Dean gets kind of washed away in the run blocking with the
Yeah,
bigger linemen, so
yeah.
I do like that. All right, Saints are back up. Let's see, who did we pick for him the first time? Charles Cross. So I wouldn't pick another tackle here. That'd just be a waste of. They have a lot of them. Let's see. They need a receiver. They desperately need a receiver. We gotta get someone that fits well with Michael Thomas. Might be a reach and maybe a tad bit high, and I'm not that high. But I'm gonna draft Jahan Dotson here. He feels like he can complement Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is gonna work, the 5, 10 yard slant boy doing his thing. Jahan
Yeah.
Dotson can do a lot after the catch. He can get downfield, give Jameis a weapon. I was hoping Olave would that I could figure out how to get Olave to him. I feel like Olave would be perfect, but it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah, I agree, and I think they're kind of hoping like a Jamison Williams or something falls to them,
Yeah,
one of those big play guys. But it's that receiver talent, man. It's really good in this year's pick or this year's draft.
I
Um,
agree.
I mean, right here, like I want to just make Astro mad and go Kenny Pickett just to do it. But I think this right here, if I don't think it'll happen. I think in real life, someone's gonna have to move up and get this guy. But I think Malik Willis is gonna fit in Pittsburgh like perfectly. If
Yeah,
that happens, Pittsburgh's just ecstatic, and if they can sit at 20 and get Malik Willis, I think that's the pick they're gonna make.
yeah. I think they just run up to the board. But Malik is like just like every quarterback in this class. Like Malik could be very good or he could be very bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's a risk with these quarterbacks, and the ones that you don't have to worry about the terrible floor. Just like I think Kenny Pickett could be all right. He might be the best guy in the first year, but is he ever going to develop into a top quarterback? Maybe, but I don't see it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're talking about how Kenny Pickett might already be playing his best football. And then Malik Willis, I mean, you think about the running game they have to support him. They still got some good receivers. They're improved their offensive line throughout the offseason. And honestly, that defense, man, they can really, really get guys off the field and get teams, create turnovers and flip the field with TJ Watt and sacks and all that. I mean, the Steelers would be in good position right here if they could get a guy like Willis, or I mean, Pickett wouldn't be a bad fit, but
Yeah,
Astro hates him, so
yeah.
I wouldn't mind it.
He gets to learn behind Mitch for a year or two, so it's getting better.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
I feel like this dude's just fits the Patriots perfectly. George Karlaftis. I think if he falls that far, he's just gonna be a hard worker. And I know it's a meme, but like he just feels like a Patriot player.
yeah. I could see that. Um, so we got Green Bay. I think the Packers are another team that's just hoping and praying that some of these receivers fall. Like Olave or Jameson or somebody, but we just didn't really have that happen. But they got to get a replacement for Devontae,
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be their biggest thing. I want to go Linderbaum right here, and help shore up like the center guard, on the weak side there. But some people don't like him, but I'm a big Trey Burks guy. I love Traylon Burks. I think I could care less what he ran in the 40 minute. The guy's like insane after the catch. He lines up in the slot. He can line up outside. He's huge. He's a big target, and I think he could be really good, especially with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball.
yeah. I like Traylon Burks too. He's tremendous after catch. He's not going to replace Devontae, that's for sure.
No, no, yeah,
But he a lot of people have us mock picking him right here, so I can definitely see it. Since you didn't get Linderbaum, I think Arizona would be happy to run this ticket up and
yes.
just pick Tyler Linderbaum. Try to get Kyler some help if he's quits throwing a hissy fit and decides he's playing football this year. But Tyler Linderbaum is just a mauler. He just wants to hurt
Yeah.
people. So
He's insane, man. He's that prototypical Big Ten, uh, you know, run blocking lineman, and he could have I mean he's fallen to a good team here. He could have a very good rookie year, much like Creed Humphrey or some of those other guys that went to really good teams that really utilize their skills.
yeah, I agree. All right, who you got for them boys?
It's a tough one too, man. It's like they could go several different ways here. They're starting to really need some O-line help. They're getting kind of thin there. They lost Connor Williams, and they could go O-line, but I still think that defensive line needs to be shored up. I think they could go edge to try to replace Randy Gregory, but I think I think here's kind of where Devontae Wyatt kind of goes.
Yeah,
I think this could be a good pick for them because I mean Devontae Wyatt, honestly, I think was more productive than Jordan Davis. Like at Georgia, like he was looking pretty good and he's ranked pretty high, but just here recently he's just kind of dropping down. But I think he could be a really good player, and they really need some defensive line help.
yeah. Devontae Wyatt's a animal, and I think the thing he has over Jordan Davis is that he could play all three downs, and
Yeah,
it's not known whether Jordan Davis can do that. I have no clue who the Bills are going to pick. I don't know what this team needs. They were an overtime away from making to the AFC Championship game, and maybe they beat the Bengals. Uh, I mean, I know they could use a running back. I don't know if they brought anybody in free agency. Their secondary is pretty good. They don't need any safety help. I don't think they really need a whole lot of D line help, even though it
yeah. I
says one of
think I'm pretty sure. I think they lost the corner, Levi Wallace. I think he left in free agency. Could be wrong. One of those two corners, I think, left. So I keep seeing like Andrew Booth mocked here,
Yeah.
but he's gone in ours. And then maybe a receiver to like replace you know, what's his name that left? Emmanuel
Emmanuel
Sanders.
Slater, maybe
But
like a Sky Moore could fit here, but I I don't know. I think
yeah, it's
the
tough.
I think
That's a
the
tough one.
offensive line wins football games, and there's this dude needs a lot more work. But Trevor Penning is just
I like
I
Trevor Penning.
I think he could be something if the right coach gets a hold of him because he likes
Yeah,
being aggressive. If you saw like the Senior Bowl highlights, he's just throwing people around.
yeah,
But in those
just
same
mean, man.
yeah, but those same Senior Bowl highlights, he got beat a lot. He lets people get
Yeah,
into his pads a lot, so he's going to need some work. But better. So Josh Allen doesn't have to scramble so much, protect him better. I don't know where Buffalo could possibly go.
yeah. I mean, that's a good pick right there. I think Penning could be, he could go to Baltimore at 13 or 14, where they're picking. Like,
Yeah,
he looks, I mean, he looks pretty intriguing. Um, all right, so Tennessee is kind of another weird team. Like, I think I think they have to go receiver here. Like, I think they need to go someone outside of Brown to give them something. But the problem is that
well, remember
most of them are already gone.
they traded for Robert
Oh yeah,
Woods.
for Robert Woods, that's right. But I mean, that's still
Yeah,
two guys, and you know how it looked last year with Julio.
yeah, you're
Um,
not wrong.
but I think they just need to keep shoring up that line. They lost a guard in free agency, so I think right here would be a great place for Zion Johnson to go. Like, as bad as I would like to put like George Pickens or Sky Moore, I think they need to just keep building that line and keep just living and dying through Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and I think that'd be a great pick, and I think Tampa Bay would be punching the air somewhere,
Yeah,
seeing Zion Johnson go right for him because with Ali Marpet retiring, I just see that as a great pick. Uh, This probably isn't gonna happen, but I did see. I've been watching the PFF uh, beat writers mock draft where they go through each pick and they get a different writer to come in and make the pick for their team. And one of the Bucks guy, he does a lot of betting, and one of the odds were Trey McBride, and he said don't be surprised to see if Trey McBride. This might be a little early for him, but they also he was he was their sleeper pick for the pick. So I'm just gonna pick him for fun. He's the best tight end in the class. No one really knows if Gronk's gonna come back or not, and OJ
yeah.
Howard's just been not good.
Well,
So
OJ Howard went to Buffalo.
okay,
He left from free
he's
agency.
not on the
Yeah,
team either, so that helps
yeah.
too.
So there you go. Perfect. Yeah, but that's a great pick. I love Trey McBride. I was actually going to take him right here with Green Bay, just to shout out to J Star and Evo. But yeah, I love Trey McBride. I think he's going to be a really good player, and
and me, and me, I'm a Packers fan too.
yes, yes, that's right. Um, all right, so we got Green Bay again, and um, they went Trey Burks right here. It's kind of a toss up again. What they're going to do here. You never really know what Green Bay is going to do. They could always go linebacker here. I think even though they signed Campbell to that big deal, I still think they need another guy, and I think N'Kobe Dean would be a really good fit for them. Like, I know they still need some O line help, and uh, you know Raymond might be good. Tyler Smith might be a good pick. But I think N'Kobe Dean would be a great fit here to help that run defense and really get that defense to the next level.
Yeah, Nico Dean. As long as he's not having to take on offensive linemen, I love his skill set. He's quick. Like if
Yes,
he's playing the
yeah,
backside, he's very quick. I think he can be good in pass coverage. The Chiefs.
I agree.
The Chiefs. They brought in Scantling. They brought in Juju, but I don't think you can count on Valdez Scantling being the guy. And Juju. Is he going to go back to where he was when he was on Pittsburgh in his early years? Who knows? But I'm going to pick the guy. I do love this guy. I think he could be a monster in the NFL. I'm picking George Pickens. Like
Get-
He's the
I like it.
prototypical. He's the prototypical size. He went through a little injury in Georgia, but I think this George Pickens, he has the potential to be the best receiver in the class. Now, whether if he does it or not, who knows? But he does have the potential.
Yeah, I like that pick, and the Chiefs can afford to like bring him on slow, let him make sure he's ready physically and he's fully healed from all the injuries, and really just let him loose at that pick a lot. Um,
Yeah,
so this is kind of a tough one too, So they got the receiver to try to help replace Tyreek Hill, and I just think you know I think they need to just keep shoring up that defense. And we got some corners here that I think might be able to go there to help replace Ward, left in free agency. But I keep seeing you know, Boy Mafe from Minnesota going there. He's a late riser. He's at the Senior Bowl, but I think David Ajabo, like I think that dude, like if it wasn't for the injury, he'd be already off this board. So I think they take him and really, I know it's doubling down on risky injury guys, but I mean, the Chiefs can afford to gamble. They got the best quarterback on the planet, and he's going to win them some games they shouldn't win regardless of who's around them. So they can afford to take a risk on these guys, and they could end up with two superstars in this draft.
yeah.
But I think that's a great risk for them at the end of the first.
I mean, if he comes back and plays like his Michigan, I don't know too much about him, and I don't know if any of it has to do with he played alongside of Aiden Hutchinson. But you
Yeah.
probably have watched more film of him, and if he hits, he hits.
He's he's super athletic, man. He's got great bend to him, and I mean he had like 11 or 12 sacks or something like that. I mean he was productive. So
Gotcha.
I think it's a great risk at the end of the first round.
I think the Bengals just have to take an offensive lineman here, like get Joe Burrow some help.
I agree.
And I like Bernhard Ryman, but I he's the same thing as Penning, where he just showed really bad tape at the Senior Bowl. I was watching Brett Colorman talk about him like he was trying a new pass blocking set, and he was just letting everybody get into his pads, and he was just getting worked. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
Kenyon Green. I think he could step in right now and be productive in the NFL. And if you watch
I like it.
Isaiah Spiller tapes, Kenyon Green's usually leading the way through it. So
I agree. That's awesome.
before you make
It's a
this
good
next
pick.
pick, can I type this player in because I think this is who you're going to pick, and I just want everyone to see me type it in.
I feel like he's typing in Sam Howell. But I will say this. Okay, this is a very trendy like quarterback spot. Because everybody wants the fifth year option. We were talking today about the teams like the Falcons or the Seahawks or somebody like really trying to trade back into the first and get that fifth year option for a quarterback, whether it's Howell or Corral or I mean Kenny Pickett's still on the board.
Yeah,
So it could be anybody, but again, the Lions, I think they have so many needs. I don't think a quarterback is the right play here. Just ride it with Goff for one more year and see what you get next year. But it's tough to, I don't know if Sky Moore is the guy that fits with them. You kind of, they got a really good slot receiver already, and Sky Moore might play some outside too. But I think they got to go defensive side of the ball, and the name that keeps jumping out to me, Leo Chenal looks good. If that's how you say his name, he's super athletic. He's good in coverage, but Lewis Kine, like I like that guy. I think he's a good player. I think he's a really good, a good safety. He looks pretty good. Dax Hill would be a great spot right here, but I think, he might be more of a slot corner or a deep guy. I'm not sure, but I think Lewis Kine right here is just a really good pick and a good fit for Detroit.
nice. I did type out Sam Howell, by the way.
I knew it.
But yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, he played on a great defense in college. When I didn't I don't know too much about him. I didn't haven't watched much of the safeties, but if he played for Georgia's defense, they're pretty good, so he's got to be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
he's got a lot of range, and with with Detroit, they're pretty bad in the secondary overall, and those safeties, like other than the Walker guy, there's not much there, so he's a day one starter for sure.
Yeah. So, what do you feel about the mock draft? Is there any picks that I made that you're like, I don't think that would have happened, or there's any picks that you would be like, yeah, I think this team needs this guy?
I mean, I like a lot of the picks. Like, um, you know, I would have loved to see some of the guys go higher, but then I look at some of the picks that we made, and it's like, where would he go? Like, it kind of shows you, how deep this draft is in the middle. Like the
Yeah.
top heavy, it's not really like loaded with the top, five, six guys that are clear cut, going to be amazing. But man, there's a lot of talent from like six all the way down to 20, and there's just a lot of guys. Like I think Jahan Dotson probably went a little higher
Yeah.
than I think, but also I think a lot of those receivers were gone. So like if that's what they want, as a receiver, they're gonna have to take them early.
Yeah, and you got to look at pairings. Like, are they going to draft a bigger possession style receiver when they already have Michael Thomas, who I know hasn't
Yeah,
played a game lately, but if he does play, I mean, he's proven before he's pretty good at that.
right. Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, like Buffalo, like it'd be great to see like Kenneth Walker or somebody in the first round, but I
Yeah,
just don't see them taking a first round running back. So I like the Trevor Penning pick, and um, I mean, I looks pretty solid to me. I mean, I feel like we could be an NFL GM if we needed to.
exactly, exactly. This is our mock draft. So if you see this and you're like, "Oh, this is terrible. I hate it." Well, you do it next time. Then I don't care.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
but
Thursday's only a couple days away.
yeah,
They can. You know, we're talking to you, Junk.
yeah, yeah, junk, especially junk. I'd say another choice words, but I don't. I was told to be nice, so I'm gonna be nice. But Scuba, this was fun. I enjoyed doing it with you, and that's pretty much it. If you don't have anything else to say,
No, I'm good, man. It was fun. Appreciate it.
all right, bye.